When we retire, we often focus on the things that we want to do when we retire. And we get excited about that. But the opposite should be true as well. What are the things that you can give up that might make your life more enjoyable during your retirement years? I'm Esther, and in this video, I'm going to share with you the 8 things that I quit doing when I retired. And my life has changed significantly for the better because of it. The thing that changed my life the most as I was getting older was when I finally learned to let go of my fears. Years ago, I read a quote in the Reader's Digest magazine that described my life perfectly. And it was, when opportunity knocked at my door, by the time I unlatched the chain, turned back the bolt, and opened the door, it was gone. I was always chronically shy and always afraid to open that door of opportunity when it came knocking. So I missed so many opportunities in my life. If I opened that door and had to face doing something new, I might fail. Those fears of failures stop me from enjoying so many things in my life. If you never try, you'll never know. And most of the time, I just never knew. As I started learning to step past my fears all the time, my life just changed totally. And I started embracing new opportunities, still with fear, but I learned to at least step out of my comfort zone and start enjoying those opportunities. And now, quite often, when I hear that opportunities knock, I fling that door open as fast as I can because I don't want somebody else to get the opportunity that I might have been able to have. So, another thing I've quit in retirement is I quit dwelling on the past. What did I do that I shouldn't have? What didn't I do that I should have? I've come to realize those mistakes that I made, and there were plenty of them, were not life sentences. Those mistakes are life lessons. And we learn from each one and hopefully don't make those same mistakes again. So when I quit dwelling on those and realized that those mistakes, those things that I did or didn't do, make me all the wiser in my golden years. If you're not a morning person, you will probably totally relate to this next one. I gave up the stress associated with hitting that snooze button on my alarm clock. I'm not a morning person, so getting up early for work was always really difficult for me. I wake up slowly, so having an alarm go off and jumping out of bed right away, it just doesn't work for me. I would always set my alarm for 45 minutes before I had to get up. Then I grudgingly hit that snooze button every 10 minutes until I finally, grumbling, had to climb out of bed. If I was a fast riser, I'd have had an additional 45 minutes every night to sleep. But I wasn't, and I'm still not a fast riser. The benefit now is that I'm retired. I don't have to set an alarm clock. If I was to jump out of bed as soon as I wake up, I end up with a headache and I'm really grumpy for the next hour or so. I'm definitely a night owl. So I finally quit worrying about what time I go to bed at night now that I'm retired. It really doesn't matter whether I go to bed at 10 p.m. or midnight or 1 a.m. I used to always criticize myself for not getting to bed early, thinking that it would make my mornings easier for me. So if I'm working on a certain project, and now that I'm retired, that project usually means working on a writing project, then if my writing juices are flowing good and it's getting late, I'll just continue writing until I'm too tired to function any longer and I can't concentrate. Then I'll go to bed. So there have been times that I've been up writing until 4 a.m. I'm okay with that. I take advantage of the opportune times that those ideas come to my mind, and I feel productive doing it that way. I think this next one is number 5. I quit worrying about what people think about where I shop. I don't shop at Macy's or Nordstrom's or any of those high end stores. And I no longer mind telling people that I enjoy shopping at thrift stores or Walmart. I was raised on secondhand clothes. I was also a single woman for many of my adult years, which meant that it was my sole provider. So I watched my money closely. I didn't mind shopping at thrift stores because I could usually find good bargains, but I didn't announce that to anyone. And I worried about what people would think. As I mentioned before, I was a shy, people pleasing person. And that's one of the traits of a people pleaser. It's very common where I live here in Snowbird Alley during the winter time because a lot of snowbirders don't want to bring a ton of clothes down with them. And so they'll come down and they'll shop at Goodwill or other thrift stores. And then before they leave, they can always donate it back if they don't want to keep it. It's very common to hear someone say, "Oh, I found it at Goodwill." The next item I quit is something that my body is very grateful for. I no longer do yard work. And I know a lot of you still love to do yard work, and I used to too. I used to love to be in my yard when I was younger. I always loved to garden. I could come home after work and stay in my garden until it got dark. But as I aged, I felt less inclined to be on my knees or bending over pulling weeds. My body just doesn't like that. When my husband and I downsized and moved to a retirement community, we gave up the beautiful green yard. And by giving up that beautiful green, we no longer have to worry if the lawn needs mowing before the neighbor complains. And the lack of yard work means I have more time for other activities that I enjoy. And my body thanks me. The next thing I quit doing seems insignificant, but if you're a worrier, everything seems kind of significant, doesn't it? But I no longer waste time worrying about making friends with those who don't seem to reciprocate the invitations. You probably know the type. The people that you continually invite to gatherings and they come, but they don't seem to ever host any events or ever invite you to their functions. We have a core group of very close friends, and we get together really often, once or twice a week, a lot of times. And I'm certainly open to making new friends, and we often invite other people to come and participate with us. But I no longer, oh, blue angels flying over. But I no longer fret over whether or not I get invited to some doings or not by an acquaintance. It's less stress and more peace of mind. So then the final thing that I'm going to mention on this video that I quit doing is I no longer feel like I have to go to every event in our community. It's a very busy place with more activities than I can keep up with. We have to pick and choose what we want to do because there's so many conflicting events that overlap with one another. I used to feel guilty when someone wanted me to attend something and I needed to or I wanted to say no to that event. I love the social life, but I also like my homebody life where I have time just relaxing peacefully, quietly at home too. So I've learned to quit feeling guilty when I say no. I hope this helps you realize that there are many things that you can quit doing. And you know what? It's okay. So comment below and tell me some of the things that you quit doing and how it's made your life easier. Subscribe and follow my channel if you'd like to hear more about life over 50, 60, and beyond. I hope to see you on my next video.